Okay, oh my gosh. Due to the custody issues surrounding Seraya, we discovered the family court system in the United States is a disaster. According to who? I'm not saying that it's not. But I don't feel like y'all operating, Aaron's father, Aaron's family, right now, Aaron's family is being called into question here with the way they're processing this shit. So bringing up the court system, I think this is a way for them to kind of support the narrative that's being spun here about why it was. They felt it was necessary for, not necessary, but why they feel like the fiance of Aaron took to the baby and she really loves the baby and stuff like that. In order to keep the narrative spinning the way they want to, this is the type of stuff that they say. The family court system in the United States is a disaster. Often, very willing to hand over almost full custody to deadbeat moms. See? You see what I'm saying? What makes Seraya's mom a deadbeat mom? Was she a deadbeat mom when they laid down and had sex and decided to have a fucking child? Did you think she would be a deadbeat mom then, Aaron? This was his choice to sleep with this lady and have a baby. Was she did he believe that she would be a deadbeat mom when he had a baby with her? Or did this sentiment come after the baby? Very willing to hand over almost full custody to deadbeat moms. And essentially, deadbeat moms, it's interesting that this is very subjective here. So the courts only give full custody to deadbeat moms? Nonetheless. And essentially castrating young, capable men. What? What the fuck do you mean castrating young, capable men? Did he or did he not have a custody agreement where he was able to see and spend time with his daughter? I'm confused here. First of all, we need to be talking about why a custody agreement was needed in the first fucking place. Family. And I'm talking to Aaron's family. Since they got so much to fucking say about somebody being a deadbeat mom, let's talk about why the fuck we needed a custody agreement in the first damn place. Samara's half brother is reputed to be a pedophile. How the fuck do you know that? How the hell do you know that? Who told you that? Where did you get this information from? What made you believe this? And he spends a significant amount of time with Samara, who he raped when they were young. How the fuck do you know that? Is there documentation somewhere out here that tells us this shit? Or is this an accusation from the family? Is this an accusation from Aaron? Where the hell did this come from? Are you trying to say that this mom allowed a pedophile and a rapist around her daughter? Because that's a huge allegation for this family to be making. Samara has various self-admitted psychological issues. So the fuck what? A lot of people do. You mad because people can admit that they have mental issues? What the fuck is that? You got to get persecuted because you self-admit that you have psychological problems. You have to be put in a fucking box. What? When she communicated by text multiple times to Aaron. So what? And my other question is he talking about stuff that the two of them share between each other as a couple with the family? Is this a situation where she was confiding in him, making herself vulnerable to him, and he chose to share her information with the family? This person who the family says has high moral standards? is a responsible person. Get the fuck out of here. I don't even like this shit. And I'm telling you that this situation in which the baby is missing is strategically being done from the start. And if you think that Nadia Collins, the girlfriend of Aaron, is not involved, is not complicit, she is. She is. And she ain't missing. They together. I guarantee you. And this is my fucking opinion, and I don't give a fuck who like it. They're together. They're together. They're together, and they have the baby. And this is planned. And that's what I feel.
Spends a significant amount of time with Samara, whom he raped when they were young. Shauna, the accusation's out there. I wanted to give you an opportunity, if you wanted to respond to that. Don't feel obligated, whatever you're comfortable with.
I will say that it's very unfortunate that Samara's trauma is being used against her.
You see this? You see what the grandmother is saying? This is exactly what I just said. She said, I will say that it's very unfortunate that Samara's trauma is being used against her. What did I say? That this was probably some stuff that she told Aaron when they were a couple. This is stuff that she told Aaron, and it could have been after they. I highly doubt it, but I feel like Samara came to Aaron in confidence and vulnerability. Okay? And he is spinning the narrative to the family about what she told him. And it's wrong. It's so fucking, it's wrong. Remember, the family say that Aaron knows the difference between right and wrong. He has a high sense of justice, right? High moral standards. Well, how moral is this? That the mother told the father of Seraya this information about her mental issues and the traumas and stuff she went through in confidence. She confided in him. She made herself vulnerable to him. Maybe she felt like she was that comfortable with him to share this information. It could have been a situation where Aaron made her feel that comfortable to share that information and then turn around and use it against her. You think that scenario is not possible? Because I think that's what's going on here.
Sure. Her half-brother is not around Seraya for obvious reasons. Our entire family is very protective of the children in it. When Samara was victimized
so she was molested. I wanted to know how she was molested. Because if it was just somebody saying some shit, I wasn't going for that. So the grandmother is saying that she was victimized as a child.
I'm the one that turned it in. I would not turn a blind eye to my granddaughter being molested, and she was displaying strange behaviors and saying things, and I actually called Child Protective Services because of that back in March. And it was when she would come back from her father's house with weird infections and stuff. And
it's interesting because the father's family put it out there that the baby would tell them to go away when they tried to change her diaper. That was the family who put that out. But here, this is the mother of Saraya's mother, which is the grandmother. The grandmother is saying that it was them. It was them who said that the baby would come back from the father's house with infections and freaking out with diaper rashes. That wasn't happening before. So what's really going on here?
Freaking out with diaper changes. That was never happening before.
So you're saying what they're saying is they're basically gaslighting. They're accusing.
Listen, look at that. They're accusing the mother's side of the family of what was happening on the father's side of the family. How interesting is that? If y'all don't think that this is, if y'all don't think that this is a fucking setup, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. This got everything to do with the father getting custody of his baby and not having to deal with the mother anymore. That is what this situation is about. He wants the baby without her mother. Without her mother's involvement, period. And the girlfriend, Nadia, is complicit in his behavior and what he's doing.
Your side of the family of what was happening when she was with the other side of the family?
I don't know that. I know that I saw those behaviors too, and I called Child Protective Services because I don't care who it was.
That's right. Because remember I said these allegations that they were putting out there about the baby, did they mention those to anybody else before this missing case happened? No, the father's family didn't do that. The grandmother on the mother's, the grandmother on the mother's side is saying their family is the one who called Child Protective Services. Very interesting. And you really shouldn't care about who done it and why. If you see something that is not appropriate or not going on, you need to start asking some questions around here. I don't care if you're the grandmother on the mother's side, the grandmother on the father's side. I don't give a damn. You noticing this shit, somebody need to ask some questions. Or maybe you need to start watching the baby around people.
I would want her safe from whoever it was, no matter what. If they were seeing those things as well, they could have called.
Exactly.
Too. I mean,
the grandmother said that if they were seeing those things, they should have called too. They should have called too. Now, if we go back in history and you know, do some research, what are we going to find? Are we going to find that the mother's side was more involved with the baby and what was going on with her? Or are we going to find that the father's side was more involved in what was going on with her? I.e., if there was a situation that of concern, were calls being made? Were questions being asked? Man, get out of here.
I think that that's the right thing to do.
Absolutely. And how would you describe, because custody battles are always difficult, it's never
All
easy.
I can tell y'all is that this is some straight bullshit, and I feel like this is a waste of taxpayers' dollars, really, in this country. Now y'all about to spend all this money investigating what's going on with this missing baby who's missing because of her father and his complicit partner. I'm telling y'all, she's complicit. She's complicit.
But how did the two families get along or not get along? How bad was it, or was this unexpected, this development?
The development itself was unexpected. I mean, their split obviously wasn't great.
The grandmother says that, so the grandmother is saying that the split between Aaron and the baby's mother, Samara, was not pleasant. So they're ending a relationship with tension. We don't know what the nature of that tension was, but we know that they're ending this relationship with tension. And tension can cause people to do all kinds of shit.
I don't have a huge problem with most people. I can pretty much understand where they're coming from. I don't have negative feelings toward the Aungs. I think that they're
like something so wrong with her family that this grandmother is saying that she can get along with pretty much anyone, and even now that her baby's missing or her grandbaby is missing, she's still not holding against that other family. She's still saying, let's get through this. Let's get through this. This don't sound like somebody that I need to be that concerned about.
misguided. I think what they're doing is pretty gross, but maybe they're scared. Maybe they're trying to get out in front of whatever this is and trying to sway public opinion to save their son. I can't.
Well, let me tell you something. If the family is trying to sway public opinion to save their son, on this side, they failing. That shit ain't working. Because I got more questions than answers at this point, mainly about the father side. And what the hell is going on with this Nadia Cole lady? What's going on with her and her family? What is going on here? If you're trying to sway public opinion, family, it's not working over here. It's sure not.
I can't fault them for that. Samara has always tried to maintain a relationship between Seraya and her father. It's very important to her. It's very important to our whole family. The people that Seraya loves should always be in her life unless they're a danger. The custody battle itself, it wasn't, I mean, they were in a great position. They had lawyers, we had nothing.
Did you see that? When they went for the custody litigation going on between the mother and the father, the grandmother is saying that the father's side had a better advantage because they had all these lawyers and the mother's side didn't have the means for what the father's side. And this was probably a situation where, unfortunately, the baby's mother was used. Would you like to talk to Okay. It says that they ended up doing mediation and they settled for 50-50 in the custody agreement.
We did mediation to settle for 50-50. We were
50-50. The grandmother is saying they were terrified to go up against that family because it sounds like this came down to who had the better resources, who had the means. That's what it sounds like this came down to. Who had the better outlook for the baby? That's why the grandmother is saying we were terrified to go up against them, because in certain situations, when you're dealing with the court, you already know that money stretches. Money gets you further than no money. So this is a narrative being spun, in my opinion, by Aaron, the father, and the father's family in order to gain custody of this baby, to get her, to keep her. They did not want this baby with the other side of her family. I'm gonna go ahead out here and say, I feel like the family might even think that the mother was beneath Aaron. They don't like the mother of their granddaughter, so they want to replace the mother with a different mother, somebody that they like, somebody they think is better for her. And if you think the father is not the puppet master, you are sadly mistaken, because he is. Because he can very well tell his family to mind their business. He can tell his family to mind their business. You're right.
Terrified to go up against them with no representation, and so that's what Samara ultimately settled for, because they were going for full custody with no visitation for Samara.
You see you see that? Did y'all see what she just said? Hold on. The grandmother just said they were going for full custody with no visitation for Samara, the baby's mother. They did not like that he got this mother pregnant. They didn't like that he got this mother pregnant. I get a very condescending tone with this father's family. That is clearly what's going on here. That is what I see. that the father's family are uppity. They're up here. They have this certain lifestyle, this certain mentality about a family dynamic. And Saraya's mother and her family didn't fit that. So they were trying to get them out of the picture, period. Are you trying to tell me that taking a baby completely away from her mother is what's best for her? How? A child needs both of their parents. Both of them. Because a child is meant to learn something different from each parent. Her parent. Not a substitute. Get the hell out of here. The family is complicit in the son's behavior as well. They're supporting him and the girlfriend in what they're doing. Why? Because they don't like Samara, the baby's mother, or her family. They feel that there's a condescending tone around this family in regards to the mother's family.
To do with no visitation for Samara.
And Shauna, how do you think Seraya is responding to all of this? Like, what do you know your granddaughter, how do you think she's handling this?
I know Seraya loves her dad, and I believe Seraya loves Nadia. One of the things that we pray for is that she doesn't even know this is happening, that she thinks she's on an adventure with her dad.
That is crazy. That is fucking crazy to me. To think that it's okay as a person of reason, as a person who has a strong sense of justice, a person who understands right from wrong, a person with high moral standards, would understand that you do not take a child away from its mother. You just don't take a child without good reason. You don't do that. You don't do that. And you don't come up with excuses after the fact. I mean, this to me feels like Aaron was a young man who came up with this certain lifestyle, or they came up with this certain family dynamic in which the mother was supposed to be of a certain status in life. And in the case of Samara and Aaron, they didn't feel like Samara fit the type. They were attempting to, it sounds to me like Aaron and his family were attempting to detach from the mother and her family, period. But because the baby was involved, the courts had to get involved. They didn't want that baby having anything to do with her mother or her family. And all I got to say to that, if it's true, fuck you, Aaron, and your motherfucking family. Fuck both of y'all. Fuck all of y'all who think that this mother doesn't deserve her child because she ain't on the fucking same status, or she don't fit the lifestyle, or she don't fit the fucking mentality that your ass came up on. Who the fuck are you and your fucking family? You need to learn how to grow some fucking balls with your bitch ass. You done took your daughter away from her fucking mother because of the family? Y'all gonna get what's coming to y'all. You and Nadia, y'all both gonna get what's coming to y'all. Y'all taking this family and this mother through all of this stress simply for convenience. The convenience of not having to be attached to this mother and her family. Hell no. Like, I'm sorry, but I relate to this grandmother, and I relate to the family of the mother and the mother who doesn't have her child. But I'm a little more outspoken with the way I feel that this father and the father's family is handling this situation. How they've been manipulating and maneuvering in the background and shit like that. I have a problem with that.
I'm sure she misses her mom. She's very close to her mom, who she calls mommy, by the way. I know that was in there too. I'm sorry. We're just hoping she doesn't really know.
Alina, this is such a delicate situation that we're in, and what Sean is telling me, like, they have a lawyer, and Samara didn't, like, and this is the response to whatever, you know, the problems were. It doesn't make sense to me. Collective doing.
All I'm saying is, you know, I would hate to be the mother of the baby in this situation, or any of the family members on the mother's side right now, especially his grandmother. I wouldn't want to be in their situation, because I completely understand how they may be feeling that their baby and their grandbaby is missing. And she ain't missing, we know who she with. But for them to have to go through this because of immaturity, irresponsibility, indifference to right and wrong, no care for the law or the courts, and convenience. They can't see their baby. And this pisses me off. This pisses me off so fucking bad. This is not no ordinary missing case. In this situation, the fucking dad has her. The dad has her. And the dad has her with his girlfriend. The girlfriend that he really wants to be the mother of his child. It's not reaching out to the mother, which shows he don't care. It shows he's not compassionate. That he's keeping this baby away from her mother. Woo! This gets me so mad, like so fucking mad. And they both need to pay for this shit. They both need to pay for this shit, and the family need to pay as well. If they're obstructing this case in any way, the family needs to pay as well.
Great work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all, that's crazy. This is crazy as hell to me.